Saya's panic turns into a sudden realization as he listens to Lu Sheng's logic. He clenches his fist and shouts that Sire must be lying, convinced that Lord Hai Jidao is definitely still on his way to save them. However, Lu Sheng stays practical. He tells his hopeful friend that waiting for a rescue is very unlikely given their situation. He points out that if the enemy was truly all-powerful, Sire wouldn't be wasting time playing these games just to recruit people. Standing on the empty red ground, the three friends face a difficult choice. Saya throws his hands up in frustration, asking what they are supposed to do if waiting just means they will die. Beside him, the rockman Tang Dun crosses his arms with a grim look. He says they seem to have only two terrible options: join the enemy and become traitors to humanity, or stay here and be killed. He fears there is no third path for them. Suddenly, a metaphorical light bulb turns on above Saya's head as an idea strikes him. With a confident, slightly goofy expression, he raises a finger in the air. He excitedly explains his plan to his friends. They should pretend to surrender right now just to stay alive. Then, the moment Lord Hai Jidao arrives, they can turn around and attack the beasts from the inside. He asks them what they think of his strategy. Tang Dun is impressed, giving a thumbs up and calling Saya a genius for thinking of that. Meanwhile, the crowd of recruits has split into two groups. A small number of warriors have already chosen to kneel and join Sire's side, while the rest remain standing, hesitating or swearing to fight the monsters until the end. Sire stands before his new army and the defiant survivors. He announces that he has given them enough of a chance to choose. Blue energy crackles around him as he grins wickedly at those who refuse to join. He tells them that if they want to die so badly, he won't stop them, and he signals for the attack to start. Chaos breaks out instantly. The massive alien beasts and the possessed recruits charge forward, crashing into the survivors in a violent explosion of energy and blood. Sire turns his attention to the group of recruits who just surrendered to him. They look nervous and unsure of what to do. He orders them to attack as well, warning them that joining him requires more than just words. With a cruel smile, he gives them a horrifying condition for their acceptance. Each of them must get blood on their hands by killing one of their former comrades. He grins like a demon, his eyes glowing red, and warns them that if they can't do it, they will end up dead just like the others. The faces of the rebels turn grim. They realize that the idea of faking a surrender to betray Sar later wasn't unique to Saya, but now they are being forced to commit real violence just to survive. The chaos gets worse immediately as a massive worm-like alien beast opens its terrifying mouth and lets out a roar. The monster slams its body down with a thunderous stomp, crushing the rocky ground and sending recruits flying into the air, in a cloud of dust and debris. Amidst the destruction, a selfish mentality takes over the battlefield. Heaven and earth destroy those who do not look out for themselves. Saya and Tang Dun watch nervously as the group of traitors, desperate to fulfill Sire's blood pact, charges forward with their weapons drawn, screaming for the survivors to die. The battle becomes desperate. The red-haired officer and the gluttonous captain struggle to hold the line. Their energy shields clash violently against the relentless attacks of the possessed level 12 warriors, and they can barely stop the assault. The level 11 survivors instantly become the main targets for the traitors. The traitors realize that killing a level 11 is a much easier way to satisfy Sire's condition than trying to fight a level 12 officer. A large traitor grins maliciously as he towers over a smaller, terrified victim. The traitor grabs the man violently by the head, causing him to scream in pain. Panic sets in as Saya realizes they are completely surrounded by beasts. Sire, and now the traitors, there is absolutely no escape left. Suddenly, Sayer appears behind Saya with a crazy grin, raising a sword high and claiming Saya as his prize. The weapon swings down with deadly force. However, just in time, the rockman Tang Dun steps in and blocks the blade with his bare arm, protecting his friend. Overcome with relief, Saya bursts into comical tears against a sparkly background, shouting Tang Dun's name with huge gratitude. But the danger isn't over, as a possessed warrior charges straight towards Saya. The situation is dire. Saya runs with a face full of sweat and terror as two burly traitorous recruits chase him down, screaming for him to stop so they can kill him. Suddenly, a hand reaches out and firmly grabs Saya's wrist, stopping him in his tracks. Saya turns in confusion to see who stopped him, only to find Lu Sheng standing there calmly. Recognizing his friend, Saya's fear instantly turns into a pathetic display of hope. He bursts into tears, screaming for Lu Sheng to help him immediately. However, reality crashes back down on Saya just as quickly. He looks at Lu Sheng and remembers that Lu Sheng is technically just a level 11 warrior like him. He thinks that even if Lu Sheng is slightly stronger, the gap is too small to make a difference. His hope vanishes, replaced by doom. He reasons that no matter how smart Lu Sheng might be, a single level 11 cannot possibly stop a group of level 12 enemies. He concludes they are finished. Overwhelmed by regret, Saya clutches his head. He curses himself for listening to the old fortune teller who sent him here, crying that this transfer led him straight to a dead end. He thinks that while he was bullied outside, at least he wasn't being hunted to death. Tears stream down his face as he has a deep realization. Compared to the value of staying alive, dignity and pride mean absolutely nothing. He falls to his knees in total defeat, swearing that if he is ever reborn, he will never step foot in this cursed place again. While Saya wallows in despair on the ground, Lu Sheng stands beside him, looking cool and unbothered with his hands in his pockets. He looks down at his broken friend and calmly reveals that there is actually another way to solve this. Saya looks up in confusion, his despair paused for a moment by Lu Sheng's unexpected words. With a calm and steady expression, Lu Sheng explains that besides becoming a traitor or dying, there is actually a third option available to them. Saya stares blankly, asking what this mysterious option could possibly be. Lu Sheng answers with a terrifyingly simple solution. They just need to kill Sire, slaughter all the strange beasts, and eliminate everyone who surrendered. He reasons with a faint smile that if they do that, there is no need to become a traitor, and no need to die. The sheer boldness of the suggestion leaves Saya completely stunned. His eyes go wide as he tries to process the insane plan. His shock quickly turns into a loud scream of panic, unable to understand how Lu Sheng can say something so crazy with a straight face. Saya leans in aggressively, shouting at Lu Sheng and asking what the hell he is talking about. He argues that Lu Sheng's logic is like someone saying they don't want to die so they will simply choose immortality. While the logic technically has no flaws, the problem is whether it is actually possible to do. He looks at Lu Sheng with pity, wondering if his friend is making a final joke before they die. Desperate to find a rational explanation, Saya laughs nervously and pats Lu Sheng's arm, telling him that it was indeed a good joke. However, the joke ends abruptly. A massive pillar of blazing golden fire erupts from Lu Sheng's body, tearing through the gloomy atmosphere of the battlefield. Lu Sheng stands inside the swirling flames, his expression remaining perfectly calm as an overwhelming aura of heat and power rises around him. The sudden display of raw power leaves Saya staring in absolute dumbfounded silence, his face lit up by the golden light of Lu Sheng's true strength.